happening coast to coast, from California, Malibu Beach, down to Florida, New York, Oklahoma, Texas, Las Vegas, you name it, it's happening everywhere. People are getting notice they're past due on their mortgage payment and that foreclosure is pending. StopForeclosure3ways.com is our website that explains in great detail the three methods I'm going to talk about briefly here. Loan modifications, mortgage replacement, I know you've not heard of it, you will. Short sales. Let's start with loan modifications. Why are they predicting 10 million plus? Well, big banks and little banks finally woke up and smelled the coffee and realized that it's cheaper and better for them financially to deal with us, the homeowners, rather than foreclosing. You see, the bank will save thousands of dollars if they don't have to foreclose. They don't have to put money in reserves per federal law if they have a foreclosure. They don't have to resell your home. They don't have to fix your home. They have better cash flow because while they're foreclosing, guess what? You're not making payments. They won't even take them. And it looks better on their balance sheet, which is how they borrow money. From a homeowner's perspective, there are a bunch of advantages. First off, a loan modification doesn't affect your credit score. Secondly, even if you're 3 or 4 months behind and don't have great credit, if you have someone doing this that knows what they're doing, you can get a better interest rate than if you had perfect credit. Now, is that fair and right? No. Is that the way it is? Yeah. Stopping the stress in your home. You don't have to take the kids out of school. You stop screaming at each other. You don't have to explain to the people at church why you're leaving. How about having a mortgage payment that's permanent that you can live with, even having past due payments and interest and penalties forgiven, and in some instances even having the loan balance reduced? At Loan Mods or Us, you can view the 22 most frequently asked questions about loan mods if you're interested. Here's a quick example. Interest rates started at 7.875, ended up at 6. Payments went from $5,200 to $4,100. It's a $1,000 savings. And at the bottom you see that little 800 circled. Included with that $4,100 is $800 in principal reduction. Going down to amount delinquent, they were behind $8,800. That's forgiven. Because that $4,100 new payment includes principal, the loan is paid off 3 years ahead of schedule. Again, loanmodsorus.com is a website if you want to go and check it out. We have a network of 9 law firms that we've affiliated ourselves with that will evaluate you and your home circumstances free of charge. If they accept you as a client, they have a 97% success rate at getting your loan modified, and they have a money-back guarantee if they can't. Free conference calls every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Central Time. Here's the phone number. Here's my email address. Here's all my contact information. Next up, mortgage replacements, called America's Best Kept Secret. What the heck is it, and who do we owe thanks to? Well, good old Uncle Sam. You probably recognize some of these acts. Truth in Lending Act, Fair Debt Collection Act, Real Estate Settlement Procedures Act. There's 6 of them. All total, these 6 acts, which each have dozens of laws in them, have 180 laws that are on the books to protect us from the banks not doing things correctly. Well, guess what? Generally speaking, because they haven't been audited, they haven't been accountable for these laws, and some of them have been on the books for decades, they don't comply. Well, to find out if they don't comply, you, the homeowner, if this is of interest to you, you, the homeowner, hire, let's call them the company. They're kind of the quarterback of everything. They kind of coordinate all features and aspects to this process. The company hires a law firm on your behalf. That law firm goes to your bank and says, we want you to prove that you've complied with all 180 issues. The bank then sends back to the law firm whatever they have complied with. The law firm then looks at it, finds the violations, goes to the federal judge. Federal judge says, wow, you think they didn't comply with 50 out of the 180 laws? They say, let's check. Justice Department's notified by the federal judge. Justice Department contacts your bank and says the same thing the law firm does. Prove that you've complied with all 180 issues. Here's a list of them. Justice Department then gets back whatever the bank sends them, and in most instances is exactly what they sent to the law firm earlier. Justice Department then reviews it, makes a list of the violations, goes back to the judge. Judge says, wow, look at all those violations. We had one where there were 177 violations out of 180. Unbelievable. The judge then gets out the federal laws that pertain to violations and makes a list and gets out his calculator and figures out who owes or how much the total violations come to, and it's in general going to be hundreds of thousands of dollars. The bank is in contact and said, per federal mandate, Mr. Banker, get out your checkbook and write to John Q. Homeowner a check because you were in violation of all these things, these federal laws. Yeah, the one with 177 violations, the gentleman had a $400,000 mortgage. The penalties were $1.3 million. Does the homeowner get to keep the extra $900,000 after he pays off his mortgage? No. That goes to the attorneys that found all of the violations. That's how they make their money. So you, the homeowner, get a check, you pay off your mortgage, and then the mortgage is replaced with a new one at half of the size at 2% for 40 years. There's no qualifying, there are no closing costs, no mortgage insurance, and it's even assumable. Let's look at a couple examples. If your home loan was $250,000 at 8%, payments would be $1,800 and change. The new mortgage, after you pay off the $250 with the money that the bank sends you for not being in compliance, new mortgage is $125, 2% payments are $378 a month. Sounds like a car payment, doesn't it? Your savings would be $1,400 and change per month, or over $17,000 cash savings per year. If your mortgage is a little higher, let's say $400,000, it's 6.5%, payments $2,500. New mortgage $200,000 at 2%, payments of $600 a month. It's $1,900 savings, $23,000 savings per year. If neither of these make sense for you and you've resolved yourself to just throwing in the towel and leaving and you want to be done with it, but you'd like to stop the foreclosure if you can, then the short sale may be your best option. The company I recommend, that I will recommend you to, can generally stop the foreclosure immediately. They do that by making an offer immediately to the bank. The bank gets the offer and they say, whoa, tell the law firm handling the foreclosure, whoa, stop. We got an offer here. Put the skids on. Additionally, the realtor does not have to do the negotiation with the bank on the short sale. Most of them don't know how and don't want to anyway. They do what they do best, which is show your house and get offers. For you, the homeowner, this will show as a satisfied debt versus a foreclosure if a short sale is completed successfully and you stay in your home for months and many times longer, and in most instances without making a mortgage payment. By the way, the cost of this service is absolutely free of charge to you. People say, well, how did they make money? They make money from the bank and or from the new buyer that will buy the house, your home. Don't wait. There's no advantage. Go to stopforeclosure3ways.com if you like, or Loan Mods or us, or both of them, or call me. All this same information is at the very end, so don't worry about writing it down. If you go to Stop Foreclosure 3 Ways, you'll see this chart that I made up so you can see side by side the three methods I've just talked about and the salient information. Again, our contact information will be at the very end. There are 180 laws that good old Uncle Sam has on the books and has had for years. They're there to protect us. They've been ignoring them. Hold them accountable for their sloppy business practices and get a mortgage that's half the size of your existing loan at 2%. Unbelievable. It's happening every day. Thank you. May God richly bless you and yours today.